What are some good internet rabbit holes to fall into during this time of quarantine? I've been down a rabbit hole to make sourdough bread. I'm fascinated now. I didn't realize how the process works. I found some lady who's been using the same starter since the 1970s, and she got hers from a woman who used hers for the last 100 years. I'm in Wuhan, and I started running out of yeast really early in our lockdown, so I made a sourdough starter. Mine doesn't taste very sour, more like super slow rising yeast with a bit more character, but it was a fun project and I prefer bread made with my starter to using the commercial yeast I've since gotten, though the commercial stuff is necessary if I need a quick rise. The family that couldn't sleep. I believe even the Vatican are involved in housing them and trying to come up with a cure. For 200 years a noble Venetian family has suffered from an inherited disease that strikes their members in middle age, stealing their sleep, eating holes in their brains, and ending their lives in a matter of months. In Papua New Guinea, a primitive tribe is nearly obliterated by a sickness whose chief symptom is uncontrollable laughter. Prions are scary as heck. They can survive extreme temperatures, pressures, acids and strong bases like nothing. The recommended method of destroying them is putting them under intense pressure, heat and exposing them to very strong acids and detergents all at the same time for multiple cycles. This is obviously not possible in the human body, so there are no effective treatments. They can remain infectious for years outside of a host, and not even ionizing radiation affects them. If you're into music, there are a ton of great channels on YouTube. Rick Beato does a lot of music and song analyzes. Alex Ball has done some documentaries about Roland and the Prophet's synthesizers. All really interesting history and information. True Cuckoo is a dude who has a ton of videos about synthesizers, drum machines and jams. Not to mention tutorials. There's so much that you can learn. I started with guitar and recently I got into synths and drum machines, and YouTube is a great place to get to learn from plenty of talented people. I missed a ton, but I guess you can do the exploring yourself. The Delphi murders. If even a minor percent of Redditors took 1 minute to view this video/audio, especially if you live in the Midwest or know people in the Midwest, there's a good chance this case could be solved today. Quick summary: 2 young teens, Abby Williams, 13, and Libby German, 14, had a day off from school and went for a walk on a local trail/bridge in the small town of Delphi, Indiana on February 13th, 2017. After walking across an abandoned railroad bridge in a desolate area of the trail system, a man followed them across the bridge and forced them down a hill. He met them. The crazy thing is, Libby had been filming Abby with her phone and was able to secretly capture the start of her encounter with her killer on video before putting the phone in her pocket. Police have released part of the video/audio. It's not very good quality, but it is the best they have and captures the killer and his voice. Both NASA and Disney assisted in editing it to make it clearer, but there wasn't a lot to work with. But police really want people to focus on his movement. Even without looking at someone's head, you could pick out a family member or close friend by their mannerisms, body, way they move, etc. And you would obviously know their voice. There are a lot of ridiculous conspiracy theories out there that police have debunked, so don't fall down *THAT *hole. Stick to what the FBI/state police have released. The killer is a white male between 18 and 40. They believe he lives locally in the area, previously lived in the area, or has family there. This isn't just a place you stumble upon. Witnesses who passed him on the trail prior said he had reddish brown hair and likely between 5 feet 6 inches and 5 feet 8 inches. They were not catfished or speaking to anyone online about a meeting. In other words, this was a horrific stranger encounter. They weren't lured or anything. 2 sketches were released that both look quite different. Police now say the suspect most likely looks like a combination of the 2 sketches, but again, I think the most important thing is to watch the actual video. 2 of the witnesses that helped with the original sketch said they were unhappy with parts of the first sketch and don't believe the second sketch looks anything like the man they saw. The witnesses said they were unable to provide an accurate description on the lower half of the man's face, since he had a white scarf wrapped around his lower mouth/chin area. There are multiple people out there who know this man. They grew up with him, maybe work with him, maybe he's their brother-in-law. but there's a good chance they just haven't seen the video yet. The more people who see the video, the higher chance this B***STARD will be recognized. I always encourage people to watch it and share it so someone else sees it. The families of these girls are desperate for answers. If you have a tip you can remain 100% anon and ML it. There's also a $250k reward. Link to Indiana State Police page that has all the info, audio/video files, and how to send in a tip. Edit. If you're looking for a new podcast to listen to during quarantine, there are two that I thought were very well done on this. Family and law enforcement gave a lot of interviews on both. One is called Scene of the Crime Delphi, the other is Down the Hill Podcast. There is also a subreddit that has a timeline of the events, witness encounter summaries, that is very well done. https://www.reddit.com/r/delphi-murders-demoine. This case made a real impact on me, and I want a resolution for these girls so badly. There's a dangerous person out there who killed 2 little girls in broad daylight. I'm afraid he will do it again, and another family will go through this horrible pain. It's so solvable. It's almost a numbers game, because all it takes is the video/audio getting seen by one person who knows him and is willing to tip it in. On YouTube, I have been viewing this channel named Horror Stories. It's a collection of short but brief real-life horror stories of people who died in the most horrible, unimaginable, and unsuspecting way. No clickbaits, on-point storytelling. Science channels. From entertaining to informative, science channels have been my favorite types of channels to binge. Source is one of the best at this. Backyard Scientist, Mark Rober, and Slow Mo Guys to name a few. And if you're up to a mental challenge, go for really heady, concept, theory-laden channels like PBS Space-Time and Quantum Gravity Research. Khan Academy. I recommend this because it's become obvious that part of the problem right now is how many people didn't do well in school, me included. Big part of why I love this site, or did not have the opportunity, and thus tune out valuable information they don't understand. I wish more people took advantage of the fact that scholastic information is free, or close to it. Just gotta look for it online nowadays. Before the internet you had to be lucky enough to afford education and live in a place where that kind of opportunity was available. Most people in the past didn't get to change their future as easily as we can. Learning history is my best way to time pass. Currently, I'm diving deep into pyramids. It's pretty damn interesting to know how they did that stuff. Imagine lifting 2.3 million blocks each, the weight of elephants, to that height, and that too, so many years ago, when humans were. I would like to share a few things that I learned. Maybe you might like it, and go deep into it. Here you go. Pyramid of Giza actually has 8 faces. From ground, viewers will not see the indentations and hence, they can only see 4 faces. In order to see the indentations and all 8 faces of the pyramid, one needs to go aerial and add 2 when the lighting conditions are perfect to make the 8 faces visible. The 8 faces of the Great Pyramid are visible only during autumn equinox and spring equinox during dawn as well as during sunset. Those are the times when the sun casts a shadow on the pyramid, making the indentations properly visible from air. Temperature controlled engineering. Also, inside the pyramid, the temperature is maintained at 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature never changes and is actually equal to Earth's average temperature. Alignment with constellation and its relevance to equinox cycle. Every 26,000 years the pyramid will align itself with 4 constellations, which represents the equinox cycle. It is believed, just believed by the Egyptians, that every around 26,000 years something devastating happens on Earth. I'm not sure, but I guess it is when they align. This was believed to be a warning. We are currently close to it. There is a error of maybe 100 years in that. Normally, I recommend the Wikipedia list of unusual deaths. I still do, but with the disclaimer that as we isolate ourselves to protect our physical health, the isolation may be damaging to our mental health. Reading about unusual deaths might not be for you right now. If you're good to go, here's the link. John Titor. In early 2000s, someone began posting on several message boards claiming to be a military time traveler from the year 2036. He arrived in 2000 on a stopover for personal reasons. His primary mission was to return to 1975 to recover an IBM 5100 computer which was needed to debug huge computer issues that would arise in his original time. Some have disregarded this as an elaborate hoax. The rubbies. There is an anticipated Y2K style computer frying event. Look up Unix 2038 problem. And only like 5 people in the world knew the IBM 5100 debugging programming existed, which was later confirmed to be true by someone involved with the project. His stories contained predictions from his timeline, time travel theory, physics of his machine, and even schematics of the time travel device. All his posts are archived. Enjoy your trip down the rabbit hole. Subscribe for the doggo and check out some more of the videos. The doggo commands you.